Okay. Hello, everyone. How's it going? Welcome into the stream. I decided to get started a couple minutes early, let people funnel on in. But thought I just after some remarks today by Sean McVay about our new quarterback, Matthew Stafford, I just thought, you know what? Let's have a little live stream session, see who comes in, and we're going to have a great time. If you're watching this live or on the replay, I would love if you would smash that like button. It really helps me out. But hey, Rams House, you are here. How's it going, man? Yeah, I'm doing good. I had a good day at work. Mondays are always a crazy day for me, like many other people. But just my line of work is always pretty crazy, and so I had a pretty active day. And so I came home, and I just finished driving a friend home, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get groceries tonight, but before I do that, I want to talk a little bit of Rams with the Ramley and Bears fans. And speaking of Bears fans, JH Sports, welcome to the stream. Stoked you're here, man. How are you? How's it going today? Doing all right? Talk about Sean McVay. He was quoted, and I want to expand on that quote. That you know what? Here, let me bring up. I want to bring up the article here. And then I'll share my screen ever so slightly. Where'd you go? Going to the Rams wire. Okay. Here we go. How's it going, everybody? Where'd my article go? This is what happened. Okay, so the headline of this article, which I really appreciate, is on Pro Football Talk, and it says, Sean McVay, Rams aren't going to run from expectations. And he knows that
this is in partnership with Woodford.
We're not going to get a copyright stream for that, whatever that is. He knows the Rams are all in this year. We haven't had a first-round pick in forever. We're not going to have one until like 2024. And he went all in on this, quarterback Matthew Stafford, and this has improved the team's Super Bowl betting odds. So that'll be really interesting to see. And this is a quote I want to talk about here. It said, so when he was asked about the expectations, he said, "You're not going to run away from expectations," McVay said. "Every single team in the NFL has one goal right now, and that's to win a Super Bowl. And I believe that the teams that know, the teams that have actually accomplished that, that they know you only do that by being where your feet are planted. The one thing I would say, there's a belief in the ability to do what we want to be able to do. Now you don't do that unless you know where your feet are planted. But there's a belief, there's a confidence in the people you're around. And when you enjoy that, we're not going to ask anybody to do anything that's more than they can actually accomplish. And there's real peace of mind that accompanies that if you know." So he's talking about how things are going with the Rams, and he's talking about the different things that are happening at OTAs, things like that. And it's exciting to hear about. It really is. Jay, I'm doing good, man. How are you doing? You said you're doing good. Awesome. But I think that there's something to be said about the way that Sean McVay is now. And we heard the reports, last week about him being giddy over Stafford, and the media kind of conjointed that to make it look like he was bashing Goff when it wasn't at all. Like, it really was. He's a coach with a team that has Super Bowl aspiration, and they have the talent to do it. So why wouldn't he be excited? So I'm so happy to see Sean McVay happy. I think that it's good for the Rams. It's good for the NFL. And, of course, it's good for Rams YouTubers like myself at Rams House and lots of other great content creators out there. Go Ramley. But I wanted to also look at I heard an interesting statistic about Stafford that I want to look at here. And so we're gonna share the screen here. So you can see what I see. Oh, Christmas song. Okay, share the screen. Share the screen. Okay. So I'm going to go Stafford career passing yards. Matthew Stafford's career passing yards. And so he's at 45,109 yards. Okay, so let's just over 45,000. That's interesting. So I want to look at this NFL career passing yards. So this is the all-time all-time leaderboard. Okay, so this according to Pro Football Reference here. So we got Drew Brees at 80,000 yards, who retired at age 40. I'm getting a phone call here. Okay, well, ignore that. So we have Drew Brees at 80,000, Tom Brady's at 80,000, Peyton Manning's up there, Brett Favre, Phillip Rivers is surprisingly high, but makes sense because he was around for such a long time. Dan Marino's up there, Ben Roethlisberger, Eli Manning, Matt Ryan. So Roethlisberger and Ryan are still active in the league, but they are older than Stafford. Or Matt Ryan is maybe too much older than Stafford. I think he's only maybe a year or two. But Matt Stafford, he's at 16. Okay, and so ahead of him, he has Aaron Rodgers, Matt Ryan, Ben Roethlisberger, Tom Brady. So Stafford, let's realistically, to catch Drew Brees now that he's retired, Brady's probably is going to do it next year. And so let's say Brady threw for another 3,500 yards, and maybe he might retire after next season. Who knows? But that would put Brady around, give or take, like 82,000 yards, just over that. So then you got Matt Ryan and Stafford. So Stafford is, okay, he's about 10,000 yards behind Matt Ryan. So maybe Matt Ryan is the front runner to try and, that's currently the active player in the NFL. But, if Matt Stafford can play a long career, he definitely has a chance of absolutely getting into this top five. I see him passing Peyton Manning, I think, by the end of Stafford's career, depending on how long he plays. But anyway, I just wanted to look at that because it shows us Ram fans kind of a perspective of how close Stafford is. He's had a great career with Detroit, and it's really exciting to see that the Rams are going to sling the ball around. That's why they drafted Tutu Atwell and Jacob Harris to give more weapons in the passing game. And I'm really excited to see it. Mr. Happy Jario. Oh, hello. Welcome. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. So glad you're here. We got 5 people watching. That's so cool. I encourage everyone to hit that like button. So North Dallas 40 is saying Stafford played well, played with the worst organization. Yeah, no, that's just it. Like, so there's 2 trains of thought there. Where number one, he played with a bad team, but he has had good receivers in his time, and he put up some solid numbers when Calvin Johnson was there. That was when he had like over 5,000 yards one season. But so again, you've heard the nickname like Stat Patford, like as in he pads his stats often because the Lions were behind and had to have him to throw it to try and win the game. But I'm excited to see Stafford with this organization, and I'm hoping that maybe he doesn't have to throw too much if it's a balanced offense. But if he can throw for another 5,000, that's exciting. But Rams House TV, welcome in another great Rams YouTuber, content creator. Make sure you go subscribe to those boys there. They're great fellas. And yeah, North Dallas 40. That's a really, to back up your other statement is, yeah, the Lions didn't have much defense with Stafford there, and so he often would have to bail out his whole team. So Ramsey will give the staff the ball more often. Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like, I think there were so many Lions losses when Stafford was there where his team just never got the ball back. Like, he didn't get a chance. And when he did get the ball back, he often came back and won it. Like, he's known for his late game heroics. And I think that's what I'm excited about, because I just feel like with Goff, we never really had that epic, okay, we need a touchdown, 2-minute drive to win the game. And often our game was, our main game closer was Aaron Donald or Jalen Ramsey or Darius Williams or Troy Hill or the defense. That it was such a stacked defense last year that if it was a one-score game, we're okay giving the ball back to you. But now I do think there were some other games, like not the Packers playoff game, but the last time they played the Packers, I think it was 2018. I remember I had several Packers fans say to me, "Oh, if Aaron Rodgers would have got the ball back, then we would have won." And they did get the ball back, but Aaron Donald stopped them dead in their tracks, and that was one of Aaron Donald's great games. Yeah, so I'm very excited for this defense and then this offense. In general, it's a great time to be part of the Ramley, and Ram fans are rejoicing. Mr. Happy, he's saying, I hope I become good friends with you and Rams. Yeah, hey man, yeah, this is a good community to be part of, and lots of love towards each other and towards the Rams. And thank you for being part of it, Mr. Happy. Said North Dallas 40, in the words, the North Dallas 40, he sent me this earlier today. He said, McVay quote, and I saw the article on this, and I'm not going to repeat it because I don't swear. But in the words of McVay, Stafford is a bad, I'll let you fill in the blanks there with North Dallas's 40's comment. But yeah, you can tell McVay's stoked. He's excited about it. Yeah, Darth, welcome in. How did lead in worship go for you, man? Really glad. Darth is a great supporter of the channel. Really excited that you are here today. Well, we got 9 people watching. That's so tubular. I encourage y'all, smash that like button. It really helps me out. Okay, I want to look at another thing. We've alluded to this. I made a video about this months ago, but I want to talk a little bit more about that with my Ramley here. And please, if you guys could, that are watching, in the chat, comment, what do you think, how many yards do you think Stafford will throw for this season? And will he break Kurt Warner's 4,843 is the franchise record for the Rams, and I'm going to be watching that record all season. I'll probably have like a weekly update on it, and what I'm curious is if he can do it in 16 games. I think he does break it because we have 17 games, but what I'm curious about is, can he do it in 16 games to see if that little asterisk won't exist. Really look for Ludacris. After Stafford gets 5,000, the very next season he almost has another, but was 33 yards short. Oh, you know what? Let's look into that. That's a really great thing to look at. I'm gonna look at this here. Okay, I'll share my screen again. Let's take a little look here. So, at Stafford, passing yards, his stats here. Let's take a look here. Okay, so 2011 is where he threw for 5,000 yards. Ludacris, he threw for 4,967 in 2012. So just like, wow, barely. He almost had 5,000 again. 4,600. Then it goes downhill a little bit. And I think he battled some injuries here in these seasons, so he missed some time in some games. Then last year, he's back over 4,000. So, okay, that being said, Stafford, it's been a while since he's thrown for those kind of numbers. But again, his team has gotten worse. So that is definitely something to consider when we're talking about that. But yeah, that's a really great observation, Ludacris. And we'll see if Stafford can throw for over 5,000 again. New team, new adventure. North Dallas 40 saying Toronto Maple Leaf fans don't swear. I know for a fact they do. I am not a hardcore Leafs fan, but yeah. North Dallas 40. I don't care about yards or records. I only care about a Super Bowl win. Yeah, North Dallas 40. I agree with that. At the end of the day, I don't care, how many yards it takes or how many touchdowns it takes. You just want them to win games, get into the playoffs, get to the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl. And that's really been the knock on Stafford's career, right? Like, he hasn't had any playoff success. He's never won a playoff game. And he's never really – I think he's only made the playoffs twice, maybe. I know he's made it once. I think he's made it twice. Yeah, someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but he has not been in the playoffs very much. He has not played a lot of January football, as they say. And so this year, with an extra game plus the playoffs, we hope to see him living it up in January. And especially, now that he's with the Rams and he has a great team around him, he's got a run game. I was having a conversation with another fan, and he asked me a question. He said, so Stafford has only had a 100-yard rusher 11 times in his career. Do you think that he can have either Cam Akers or Darrell Henderson go over 100 yards 11 times this season? And with the extra game, I don't know. That maybe. And that would definitely put a damper on his passing yards, but for a good reason. If we're running the ball really well. So yeah, I'm excited to see that, and we'll see. Rams House TV saying 0-3 in the play. Okay, thank you for looking that up, Rams House TV. I really appreciate that. Okay, so he made it three times with the Lions. He made it in the playoffs, but hopefully gonna be four. North Dallas 40's Rams running game was not highly rated. Akers sophomore year, do or die year. I don't know if I agree with that. I understand the sentiment behind it. I don't think the Rams run game last year was highly rated because it was a backfield by committee. But you know what? Let's actually see. I'm going to look that up here. Rams ranked 2020. Because they weren't. I know they're better than people think it was. Okay. See the Rams. Yeah, the Rams were fourth. They were the fourth ranked rushing team last year, averaging. Oh no! Wait, sorry. That's their rush defense. Wow, they only allowed 99.1 yards a game. No, I don't want that stat. Crazy Google. Let me know what I want to know here. Team rushing to here we are. Okay. So the Ravens and okay, the Rams. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The Rams were ranked 10th. So we were top 10 rushing team last year, but we weren't necessarily the best in the NFL. But again, we had the backfield by committee. Akers had some injuries. Malcolm Brown last year, you could tell he was kind of plateaued a little bit. But and Henderson had some injuries too. But I think that I'm really looking forward to Henderson in year 3 and Akers in year 2. I think they have the potential to be an elite level, tag team duo, the same way that like a Kareem Hunt or a Nick Chubb are with the Browns. So I'm really excited about Akers, excited about Henderson, and I think that the Stafford hype sometimes overtakes the hype that there is for those two running backs, especially Akers. And so I'm looking forward to seeing that. North Southward, yeah, he's saying Niners overall have better runners. Yeah, and I think that's just the case that it's been proven. Get a really good zone run game going, and he has a stable of running backs that they know how to get it done. They're pretty. Shanahan has an eye for a good running back, and right now I don't know. Yes, definitely last year they were better. I think, again, I say this a lot, and I'm going to say it again. Young players get better, and I believe Akers and Henderson have the talent to get better, and you see it in Akers. I could see him becoming a top 5 back in the NFL, and so they were better last year, but North Dallas 40, I'm going to push you on that maybe in 2021, the Rams take a little step up. Darth is saying, I think Stafford can break the passing record if he stays healthy. Thank you so much for that comment, Darth. And I agree. Yeah, Stafford's health, like any player in the NFL, will be number one thing that limits him from success. And so here's hoping that Stafford stays healthy the whole season and that we're able to, get it done. And I think the Rams are pretty good at taking care of their players compared to a lot of other teams, aka the Niners. But I think that the Rams medical staff has been proven they've been pretty good at taking care of players. Even though we have had injuries in the past seasons, compared to a lot of other teams, the Rams are often one of the healthiest teams towards the end of the season. And I think that, like we had Goff and Donald banged up in the playoffs, and, everyone's banged up in the playoffs because that's the end of the season in the NFL. But I think if he stays healthy, we'll have see some numbers. North Dallas 40. If Akers is hurt, it's over. Oh, okay. I don't like. Are you talking about? Okay, I'm gonna let you have a couple comments here, North Dallas 40. So you're saying if Akers is hurt, it's over. Then he's saying Henderson is not Pollard. Okay. RD will not be as good as last year with key losses. So okay, we'll come back to that, North Dallas 40. But for Henderson not being Pollard, I disagree. I think Henderson can be better than Pollard with the Cowboys. I am a huge believer in Darrell Henderson. I know not everyone is, but from what I've seen of him, he's a guy that knows how to catch out of the backfield. If he gets to the second level, he has a burst of speed that can be tough to catch. He's maybe not the most elusive back out there, and he's not much of a power back, but I do believe he has good vision. He can take care of the ball, he can churn out some yards. But yeah, I politely disagree with you with that. I think Henderson is a fantastic running back in his own right, and that if Akers were to go down, I'm more than confident that Darrell Henderson can handle the load, because we saw that last year. There were games that Henderson came in and he played well. He maybe didn't play at like superstar record-breaking level, but I think he's a very capable running back. Yeah. Now North Dallas 40 saying RD will not be as good as last year with key losses, players, and Stanley. Staley. Yeah, that's a fair argument to make. And I think it's tough to repeat as the number one defense in back-to-back seasons, especially when you lose players. Again, I've said this before, I'll say it again. John Johnson will be hard to replicate his production. However, I think that Jordan Fuller can step in and play well, and Taylor Rapp can play well. Not sure they're at JJ's level of talent, but I think they can play well. And then Brockers, I believe his production can be, produced as well. Ebicon, I believe, can be replicated. Troy Hill, I believe, can be replicated. Like, they were good, but they weren't like legendary players. Like, if we would have lost like Jalen Ramsey or Aaron Donald, not just any player at the NFL level can replicate their production. but I do believe our defense will be good. I don't think it'll necessarily be a top 3 unit, but I could see it being a top 5 unit again. I think we have some great players that have been developing, and we're the youngest team in the NFL at 24 and a half years old. And I think that we have a lot of those young players that are in their second and third year ready to make some noise and ready to put the NFL on notice that they're great players. They want to earn big contracts, and the Rams are a great team for them to get that opportunity on. He's saying injuries will kill her. Look at the Nets and Lakers. Yep. I'm a very passive fan with basketball. I'll admit when the Toronto Raptors are out of it, but I am cheering on the Atlanta Hawks after their big win last night. That was pretty cool to see. Yeah. Who's our number 3 runner in case of injury? I think I want to say it's Funk. Is it Jordan Funk? Probably. Yeah. Like I don't know if we have another. Unless we bring in a veteran. Let's take a quick look at that. Rams running backs. Which one? The full stable of running backs is okay, we're going to the depth chart. I should really pull this up. I gotta learn how to do this better. Okay, yeah. We have Xavier Jones. And then we have a guy named Raymond Khalees, but he looks like he's more of a special teams guy. And then Jake Funk, he's probably more of a Stafford special teams guy as well. That's true. Looks like Xavier Jones. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So he was a free agent, signed in 2020. Yeah, this is his second year in the league. Yeah. Okay. So, hopefully he's developing well, but that's a good question to ask in case of injury. But hopefully that we have Akers and Henderson healthy, but running backs do get banged up. Rams House TV is saying, oh yeah, Rams House TV, you're beating me. I should have looked at the comments. I apologize. Thank you for looking that up. Johnson will be missed. Yeah, absolutely. Goff should change. Not sure what you mean by that, North Dallas 40. Dean, thank you for looking at. Oh, you guys are so nice. I'm still new to this live streaming thing, getting used to it, but I have such nice, people watching that would go and find that data for me. You guys are so cool, so cool. Thank you so much, and I hope you're all having a great time. I'm having a blast talking Rams. And Rams is all good, bro. Thank you so much. I'm excited to see you guys start live streaming on YouTube. I know you stream on Instagram, but to be honest, I don't go on Instagram that much. I use it just to be kind of social here and there. We'll look forward to seeing Rams House TV live streaming on YouTube. North Dallas 40. The last time the Los Angeles Rams won the NFL championships was 1951, 70 years ago. North Dallas 40, I agree. Like, I understand the NFL championship, but the last time the Rams won the Super Bowl was 1999. Let's not forget that. Greatest show on turf. Oh yeah. Love the Rams. Love. Oh, that was the year I became a Rams fan. And whenever I think back to that Super Bowl, I have fond memories. Well, guys, you know what? I think I'm going to end the stream there. Just a short stream tonight. I got to get groceries, but thank you to all of you watching, tuning in and helping me get my little fix of talking football, talking the Rams today. I have some stuff coming up. I'm recording the next episode of Moof tomorrow, and so I hope to get it out on Wednesday. That will be the New York Jets. Where we interview a New York Jets fan. So that'll be really exciting. And then I had a really great live stream yesterday where I tried this thing where it was kind of an organized live stream, and I was able to take clips from it and put them up as standalone videos. So that was kind of fun. So thank you to anyone who tuned into that and or watched and liked and commented on those videos. just because I love talking Rams. Rams are my first team for sure, but I do love talking about the NFL in general. And North Dallas 40s, you're laughing at the Jets. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm collabing with a Jets YouTuber called NYJ Today. And he's a really great guy and really, really like his channel. He does some really cool stuff. He helped to kind of inspire me with some of the stuff I do. So I'm excited to collab with him. And then so I record them on Zoom, and then I edit some graphics and stuff into them. And then I'll try and get that out on Wednesdays for everyone to enjoy. Rams House TVs, we're going to be on YouTube live stream very soon. Stay tuned. Yeah, awesome. We got some more people coming in here. All right, I'll keep it going here. LA Rams saying, what's up, everybody? Good. How are you doing, LA Rams? Thanks for coming in here. All right, North Dallas 40, always good for a question here. He's saying, how many games will the Cowboys win? Ooh, that's good. I have a Cowboys fan that I'm hoping to interview either Friday or Saturday this week for the MOOF series. So I'll be excited for that. But you know what? That's a good question. Let me take a look at the Cowboys schedule here. So we're going to do the old sharing the screen. Do you see what I see? And okay, there's Xavier Jones. So Cowboys schedule 2021. Take a look here. We're just going to look at the ESPN one here. So we got, they start with Tampa. Oh, I forgot about that. They're the first game of the year, Thursday night primetime. I don't see them beating Tampa. I think that game with the Chargers walks to be a good game, but I think the Chargers win it. I think they beat the Eagles. Panthers are one of those tough teams. It's hard to predict, but I think they beat them, so I put them at 2-2. Division rival, you never know with the Giants. Well, that's in Dallas, so I'll give it to them. 3-2. I think they lose to New England. 3-3 bye week. I think they lose to the Vikings. 3-4. I think they beat 4-4. Falcons, again, you never know. That's a tough team with the new coach regime, things like that. Yeah, we'll give them the win against the Falcons. They're not being the Chiefs. That's 5-5. Vegas on the short week, or no, that's the Thanksgiving. Yeah, short week Thanksgiving game. You know what? I could see. It's tough with the Raiders. They're a tough team because they win big games and they lose games to teams they should win. I'll give that one to the Cowboys. So 6-5. They'll be 6-6. Yeah, I think they're gonna have like a pretty back in seesaw type of season. I think they lose at Washington, lose in New York, win at Washington. I see them maybe getting to 9 or 10 wins, somewhere in there. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think the Cowboys? Oh, I'll stop sharing my screen. What do you guys think? Do you guys think the Cowboys can get to 10 wins? I think 8, 9, or 10 wins. Yeah. So LA Rams is saying 9-8. Yeah, the North Dallas 40 saying 10 wins. Rams House TV saying 9-8. Yep. So a lot. LA Rams thinks Washington wins that division. I think there's definitely a chance. But I did a MOOF recording for Washington. That was a great episode with Protect Sports. Tony from Protect Sports, he was fantastic to collab with. And I'm curious about Washington with Fitzmagic and Taylor Heineke. Are they going to have a QB carousel? Because teams with a QB carousel just seem to struggle. But we'll see. Washington's an interesting team, that's for sure. We're looking forward to seeing how that goes. You're saying 11-6 for Washington. North Dallas 40 is saying Cowboys win the division. Ooh, okay. And he's saying that Washington is going to get 9 wins. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting, folks. I had this conversation with a friend about the Washington football team. So say if you're Washington, this is not going to happen first off, but like say it did happen. Would you guys do this? You watching? I want to know if you would do this trade. If you're Washington and you have a chance to get Aaron Rodgers, but you have to trade Ryan Fitzmagic and 3 first-round picks and like a second-round pick in the future drafts just to get Aaron Rodgers this year, do you do it? Like make this trade today or tomorrow? Let me know. Do you make that trade? I do. I make that trade. I think if you believe you're a quarterback away, I mean, the Washington football team, they have a great defense led by Chase Young. They have Terry McLaurin as a wide receiver who looks like a stud. Then you have Antonio Gibson out of the backfield running back. And I think that put Aaron Rodgers on a team like that and bam, it could go places. It could go places. So North Dallas 40 saying if they get Rodgers, they're Super Bowl contenders. Absolutely. And so here's the thing. Do you think so you think for those of you who think Washington's going to win the division right now, do you think they're Super Bowl contenders? Because I don't. Like, maybe they can win the division. Okay, cool, if that's good enough. But if you're going for the Super Bowl, you need more than Ryan Fitzpatrick. I'm sorry. I'd love to see Fitzpatrick. We're beard buddies. I love him as a player. He's one of my favorite players in the NFL. He was, drafted by the Rams. For those of you who don't know, Ryan Fitzpatrick is, at his core, at his birth into the NFL, he was a St. Louis Rams. He was a 7th-round draft pick. I'm a big believer that, in the NFC, you have the Bucks, the Rams, Packers with Rodgers if he's there, and then maybe the Seahawks or the Niners. Those are the only teams that can compete for a Super Bowl, and I think the NFC West will eliminate each other naturally. So then it'll be whoever wins the NFC West, the Bucks, and if Rodgers stays with the Packers. But other than that, I don't see teams on the NFC that are Super Bowl ready. As opposed to the AFC, you have the Chiefs, you have the Bills look Super Bowl ready, the Browns look Super Bowl ready. You have the Ravens, you have the Steelers, which I don't know if the Steelers are Super Bowl ready, but I'm a big believer in Mike Tomlin as a coach, so you can never count him out. Big Ben, he's gotten there before. And then you even look like the Titans look like they could be Super Bowl ready. I don't know. There's lots of teams on the AFC that were in that conversation, but we got a couple comments coming in here. Ramsales TV, he's saying, will Aaron Donald break Michael Strahan's sack record this year? I'm assuming you mean his sack record. I hope so. I would love that. I don't think it's going to happen. I think at this point in Aaron Donald's career, he just gets double and triple teamed so much. I think Aaron Donald, he puts a ridiculous amount of pressure on quarterbacks. And again, I saw the stat that on 30% of pass plays, Aaron Donald, pardon me. I gotta tickle my throat, guys. 1 second. Mute. Okay, I'm back. I think that Aaron Donald absolutely has the potential to do some amazing things, and the sack record, it'll be tough for him to get, but on 30% of pass plays, he's there and he impacts the play on some way. And I think that's sort of his skill set, and it's an underappreciated part of his game. But and the reality is he kind of gets other people sacks because he takes so much, offenses have to account for him so much, to get those sacks. So do I think that he can break Strahan's record? I think he has the talent. However, we also have a tough schedule, so I'm not sure that that's going to happen because good coaching can game plan around a pass rush artist. North Dallas 40 saying, Jerry Jones would have a heart attack if the Washington football team got Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, that would be the end of it, Jerry Jones probably. If the Saints get Texans, you think if the Saints got Deshaun Watson? Maybe, yeah. Okay. No worries, Rams House. No worries. Thanks for the question. I assumed correct. LA Rams, he's saying, sorry, Steelers. You think the Steelers are going 7-10? I don't know. People forget the Steelers won 11 games in a row last year, which is no small feat. Now, I know they had an easier schedule. And this year, the Browns and Ravens are looking pretty good in that division. I don't think the Steelers win. I think the Steelers make the playoffs as a wild card. I don't think they're a 7-9 team. I think Big Ben has a bit of a bounce back year. Any player who takes a pay cut, like a starting quarterback to take a pay cut. I know the media points at that like they would have had to get rid of Big Ben if he didn't take a pay cut, but I don't know. I give credit where credit's due. Big Ben could have, kept his money, not taking the pay cut. He would have been cut. There would have been dead money owed to him, and he probably would have gotten picked up by some team. But I don't know. I'm not a hater of Big Ben like a lot of people. I'm not saying I'm a huge, massive fan either, but it sounds like he's done some really cool things in his personal life. So power to him for that. But yeah, the Steelers will be an interesting team. The AFC North is always an interesting division for sure. Last St. Prince, good to see you. Welcome to the stream. He asks, do you see the extra game making more or less likely and a running back beats Dickerson's rushing record in the same number of games? Ooh, good question. So he's asking, more or less, do you think that Dickerson's record can be in 16 games because there's an extra game? And that they'll be more competitive, less time. You won't necessarily have a game wound up because there's an extra game to play that can shift seeding and playoff races. That's an interesting question, Last St. Prince. I'm going to say no, but not necessarily because of the games, but just today's NFL. A lot of offensive coordinators and offenses, they don't like to have a feature back the same way that they did in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s. I think I saw that there was only like 3 running backs last year that had over like 250 carries on the year. No, I got that stat wrong. I'm not going to say the stat because I forget what it is. But the running backs that got like the bulk of carry that were like a feature back, you have Dalvin Cook, you had Derrick Henry, you have Ezekiel Elliott, where it's not like, in the 80s and 90s, you had your featured back who got like as much playing time as like the quarterback. So yeah, I just think today's NFL game favors backfield tandems and committees more. And there's just not as many featured running backs, especially because with the passing game rise in today's NFL, it's just there's such have your passing down back as opposed to a back that can do everything. But great question, Last St. Prince. We got some great content coming up. Okay, so how open in window open with AD? How you're saying how many years is the Super Bowl with Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald to win the Super Bowl? I think so. Donald's 30. I forget how Jalen Ramsey's a little bit younger. I think we got at least 3 years, 3 to 4 year window. Now that being said, we have the cap situation, and then we don't draft picks in the first round. So as long as we keep drafting late round talent, yeah, I think that we have some young players that will. They'll perform well and probably get paid elsewhere because we can't keep them. But we are, after this season, we'll lose a bunch of the Goff dead cap hit, even though there'll still be some. A large chunk of the Gurley dead cap hit's paid off. I believe the Brandon Cooks dead cap hit is totally paid off after this season, so that's great. So, with this dead cap opening up some room and the salary cap is projected to grow next season, because of the new TV deals and streaming deals. I think the Rams, account for that. So yeah, that'll be interesting. Elliot going, you're good. Darth is saying, I think the Steelers will miss the playoffs. Okay, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, okay. I'm not sure who you're talking about, but 49ers first take. Hello. He's saying, just a shout out for payout time. Had him on my stream. Talked Niner and Ramball. Give him a like and subscribe. 49ers first take. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Yeah, last Saturday, I was over on 49ers First Takes channel. We had an awesome conversation. I really enjoyed that. Looking forward to doing more content with you in the future. And yeah, he's a phenomenal YouTuber. And if you'd like to get some 49ers content along with some other NFL content that he's breaching out into, make sure to give that man a subscribe. But I really appreciate that, 49ers First Take. Yeah, you're a fantastic content creator. Rams House TV said, facts all. Thank you, Rams House TV. I feel the feeling is very mutual. I really appreciate all the Rams YouTubers like Rams House TV, Rams House, Jake Ellenbogen, Rams Talk, and they're fantastic. And my content is so different from all of and they're different from each other. And I really, really appreciate it. And I love how we can make a video about a similar topic, but have different takes on it. And I love hearing the different perspectives. And yeah, the Ramley community on YouTube is growing, and it's awesome. And if you're out there and you're thinking you want to start a Rams YouTube channel, I encourage you to do it, because there's definitely some people out there that want to talk Rams. And if you're watching this and you want to talk Rams and football and the NFL, give me a subscribe. I would love that. North Dallas, where he said, this is the last hurrah for Big Ben. Yeah. Oh yeah. Big Ben, how old is he? He's older Ben Roethlisberger he is 39 years young. Yeah. So Big Ben, but he's not like a Brady who's looks like he's taking care of himself with the keto diet and the avocado ice cream. But again, Big Ben, I think he wanted to come back for this year. He took a huge pay cut. I think he does have a good receiving core, and it'll be interesting. They drafted that running back in the first round. Make sure to take note of him on your fantasy team, because the Steelers do have a reputation for being pretty good at drafting running backs. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the Steelers do this year. Goff will break the turnover record in 17 games. We'll see. Again, North Dallas 40. I think there's a chance, like, if Goff, like, just loses, like, as long as the Lions are in some sort of playoff contention early in the year, they'll keep Goff. But if they fall out of it, like by mid-season, which I kind of expect to be the case, I see them. I don't know who they're back. Let's actually look at that. Lions quarterbacks, because I could see them wanting to, look for, see what they got on their roster. Can I bring it up here? So they have Chase Daniels, Tim Boyle, and David Blough. Okay, so they're like, we know what you're getting with Chase Daniels, and they have Jared Goff also. Yeah, I don't know. I think the Lions would be a team that if they fall out of it, they'll just try and get their young players as much playing time as possible. Not saying that Goff would get benched right away, but yeah, like, again, I just don't have a lot of belief in Jared Goff without Sean McVay. But Jared Goff, if you ever watch this, prove me wrong. I like you as a person, and I hope you nothing but success in Detroit, unless you're playing the Rams. Mike Anderson, welcome to the stream. So glad you're here. Thanks for coming by. He said McVay loved Brandon Cooks too. He loved how fast he was. Let's hope it's not the same type of love with Stafford. Ooh, yeah, that's a good point. It's a very good point, Mike. So again, that's referring to McVay's comments about Stafford, and he's the past couple weeks and today that he's really giddy about him. And I also, the McVay love, like I remember his first year, he loved Todd Gurley, and he was saying, "Oh, this is going to be a very Todd Gurley friendly offense." I remember that quote. And I think, we read so much into it, but it would be terrible if he wasn't excited about his star players when he first acquired them, in a trade, right? And so that was definitely what he was saying about Brandon Cooks. And unfortunately, with Brandon Cooks, just the concussions kept piling up, struggled to stay on the field. And then also, I heard Jake Ellenbogen had a fantastic video about Brandon Cooks being a victim of Goff regressing and not willing to push the ball down the field. So yeah, I very much agree with that. So that's something to consider as well. But let's hope this isn't that's the case. Guys, this is awesome. We have 12 people in here. That's so tubular. Please, LA Rams fans saying, hit the like, everyone. Thank you so much for that, LA Rams. And yeah, I would encourage people to hit that like button. It really helps me out, and I really appreciate that. And just you guys tuning in, watching this, I appreciate that. I'm having a blast. I'm gonna keep going, and this is so cool. The Cooks didn't end well. William Blockson, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for tuning in. So glad you're here. And he says, we drafted a linebacker who has trouble getting off blocks. Why would we do that? Are you talking about Ernest Jones? I'm assuming that. The reality is it's really hard to evaluate rookies' talent. I don't know if that was a knock against him in college, if you are referring to Ernest, but I think that the Rams drafted players that they think can develop really well. We've seen that with McVay. He's not big in putting rookies on the field, especially at the start of the season. He is very much a believer in his coaching staff and his coaching system. And so they bring players into their system. And so maybe they saw something with Ernest Jones. And that's probably why. North Dallas 40 saying, should we sign Sherman? I'm on the team of if it happens, okay. I don't see it as a need. I think you only sign him if he's willing to sign for the veteran minimum, which I know I'm pretty confident isn't the case because Sherman is his own agent, negotiates his own contracts, and he often has them highly incentive based. And just because of the talent the Rams have at the corner position, I don't think that he would want to come to the Rams. I don't think the Rams can offer him a contract that he wants. I do think he wants to go to a winner, but I would be shocked if he went to the Rams. I wouldn't want him over Darius Williams or Jalen Ramsey. And so, do we want to sign him for, probably a lot of money, and an incentive rich contract so that he can be our number 3 corner? No, I'm out on that. But if he's willing to sign for veteran minimum, okay, cool. But other than that, no, I don't want Richard Sherman. But he's a very intelligent player. He may not have, he's older for sure, and may not have the speed that he has. But he's someone that can help out your defense from an intelligent perspective for sure. The Rams are already in the negative for next year's cap. Yep. That's just what we got to accept. We are a financially irresponsible franchise, but we somehow make it work. And this year, the fact that I'm pretty sure Donald, Whitworth, Kupp, Woods, Ramsey. I'm not sure about Ramsey. I think they all had to renegotiate their contract, and then Brockers, I think they tried, but then he wasn't willing to renegotiate, so they traded him. And I think that's part of being a Rams is they'll pay you, but you have to be willing to renegotiate your deal. And I think that's honestly, you can criticize the Rams for that, or you can love them or hate them for that, whatever. But that's just sort of part of the deal is they care about the cap this year because they're going for it this year. And with all these negotiations, they shoot the money to the next year as a signing bonus. And, that counts towards the cap hit next year, which again, next year when we won't have as much money on the cap for Goff and Gurley and Cooks, they'll have more money to pay out those signing bonuses. But unfortunately, instead of signing more veteran talent, that money has to go towards those signing bonuses. So it's kind of double-edged sword. But we are in negative cap for years to come. So we kind of just got to get used to it, I guess. Hey, Vila Shea, welcome so much. So glad you are here. I'm always sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. In my Canadian accent, the V-I-V is, for whatever reason, very hard for me to say, but Vivex, that's what I go for. Vivex Shea. And he said, I have a really good feeling that Goff will do much better next year. Really? Okay, that's interesting. That's drastically different than my opinion of Goff. I hope you're right, except for when Goff plays the Rams. But you know what? If maybe Goff is a player, he just needed a fresh start. The thing he has going for them is he's 26 years old. He's experienced some, big games. He's won some big games. He has played at a Pro Bowl level before. And again, like one of the knocks we had on Goff is it just felt like he never took that next step from a football IQ level. So maybe he dedicates the offseason to watching film, critiquing his own game, learning how to read defenses, and that'd be really cool. But I'm glad there are still people that believe in Jared Goff. Not for his first take, he's saying nothing but love, brother. Fans of different teams don't have to be in it. Absolutely. No, we're just, we love talking football, and I celebrate your Niners fandom. Obviously, I want the Rams to beat the Niners, and I don't want the Niners to win. But no, I love that you love the Niners, and we can talk football together in a one big NFC West dysfunctional family, as they say. So thank you so much for tuning into the stream. That means a lot to me. I'm having a blast. Mike Anderson is saying, yes, we do. I'm sure you're referring to the next the cap situation. 49ers saying no, Sherman is toast. Stay away from him. Okay, thanks for the insight. Appreciate that. And you know what? Again, I think Sherman, he's going to get signed by someone. I just think he's being really picky with who he signs with, and he might be waiting for an injury. And he's a smart enough player that he can go into any team and contribute. Like, it's not like he's an undrafted free agent or something. But yeah, that's good to know. 49ers first take. North Dallas 40 asks, if you could pick one former Ram to join the 2021 Rams, who would it be? My pick would be David Deacon Jones. Ooh, that would be fun. Seeing Deacon Jones with Aaron Donald. Oh, Leonard Floyd. That would be a scary. Oh man, yeah, that'd be cool. That's a great question. I like a lot of our positions. I really like. You know what? I'm going to go a little bit deeper here, and I'm going to say I would have loved to see James Laurinaitis. If you ask me this question in an hour, my answer might change. But right now in this moment, just because linebacker is a position of not concern, but it's unproven for the Rams. So I'd probably pick James Laurinaitis. I really liked him as a linebacker. He was great for many years here, when they were in St. Louis. Another part of me wants to say Steven Jackson because he's my favorite Ram of all time. And it'd be really interesting to see him in today's NFL. I think he would be like better than Derrick Henry. But yeah, great question. Lost my spot. Here we go. LA Rams, you're predicting the Lions will win 4-13. Yeah, that's potential. That might be optimistic. I don't know. I think the Lions and the Texans are the teams that are in the running for the number one pick next year. That's my own personal opinion. And we'll see. Rams House TV, we appreciate it. You keep grinding, payout time. Rams for life. Yeah, absolutely. Keep up the grind. Love doing this and love your content. And we'll keep on grinding. And we got some more content coming out in the next couple of days. This is having a blast. Rams House TV said, we go. Yeah, we don't need Sherman. North Dallas 40 saying Rams organization never publishes media guys, never answers the phone. You know what? I think I've had this theory about Kevin Demoff and the Rams organization ever since they went back to St. Louis. They've never been a team that got a lot of media attention unless they made a move and they intentionally got it. And like you think of, when they traded Sam Bradford for Nick Foles. It was a very calculated move, to get them as much media attention as possible. Even when they made the trade to get Jared Goff and they traded 3 number 1 overall picks to get Goff, they waited a day because it was like Kobe Bryant's retirement game. And they seem like an organization for many years now have been very strategic in how they get media hype, and they love to steal headlines. And they seem to be an organization that really likes the headlines not to find them, but for them to create them. So I just think they're a really savvy organization, and maybe that's one of the reasons they don't publish media guides. It's a good perspective. Rams House TV, now we get on Sherman. Yeah, we don't want Sherman. Next level. Lions 0-20 counting preseason. I don't know about that. I had a fantastic Lions fan from the UK on my Move series, and I think he put the Lions at 8 wins, and that was a very optimistic. The goal of the Move series is find the most overly optimistic fan in the NFL. I don't think it's going to be that. But I don't think they're going to go 0-20. I don't think they're that bad of a team, but who knows? You never know. LA Rams saying, I love to be a Rams fan. It makes me so happy. Me too. Thank you, LA Rams. Yeah, I agree. It's awesome being a Rams fan. It's fun, for a season like this where there's a buzz in the air. There's a hope, a majestic song being sung by Rams fans. And I agree with you. It's a good time being a Rams fan right now. And in the past, even on those down years, it's fun to commit to a team and learn about them and journey alongside them with, through the NFL season and off season. Rams House TV, our roster is good. I feel like we don't need anybody else. Yeah, except for like the minor things that happen on an NFL roster, like with practice squad. Like in terms of starters and backups, we're looking pretty good. You're right. And to be honest, the Rams have had a quieter offseason except for the Stafford trade, because like you traded Brockers way for pretty much nothing. Like a future draft pick. You traded first Stafford. We re-signed Floyd, restructured a bunch of contracts, drafting Tutu, I guess made a few headlines. Like it's been a pretty quiet offseason despite the Stafford trade, really. I think a lot of that has to do with we have players that are in the prime of their career. A lot of them are excited, they're experienced, and they're ready to try and make it in the NFL. And not just make it, but win it. They want to win the Super Bowl. And so, I agree with you. Rams House TV. Mike Anderson, can Sherman play safety? This could be – okay, you know what, Mike? I'm not sure if it was you or someone else on another stream I did brought up the Sherman as a safety thing. And, again, maybe, but I kind of would prefer to go with Jordan Fuller and Taylor Rapp. Do you really want – does Sherman want to transition to safety? I don't think he would. Like he has so much, pride and identity in being an elite corner, and I think he wants to prove he can still line up with the best of them. So I just don't see Sherman doing that. And again, I think you only sign Sherman if it's for the veteran minimum, which he wouldn't want to do. He's going to want an incentive-heavy contract that he'll negotiate on his own. Last saying Prince is unlikely, but if Gurley goes unsigned, I would be happy to see the Rams resign for cheap to fill in for injuries and Brown's role last year. You know what? Last saying Prince, you bring up a good point because so technically the Rams still owe Gurley dead money. So, like, if we re-sign him to, like, a veteran, like, he's going to sign somewhere cheap. That's, unfortunately for him, because of his arthritis and his knees just being shot, that's all he's going to get for any team anywhere. But, like, he's a year younger than Derrick Henry. People forget that. Like, Todd Gurley is not an old player. It's just unfortunate. And if it wasn't for that, those knees, that arthritis in his knee, he could have been a fantastic running back for years to come. So that's one of the things I feel from because I love Todd Gurley as a player. I know he's visited with the Ravens and Lions. He hasn't signed anywhere. He's rumored to have been offered a contract with the Lions, but he didn't accept it. So I don't know what that's all about. And it could be that he's just hoping to get on a team, waiting for an injury. The reality is in training camp, injuries will come and teams will want to sign a veteran running back that's kind of a red zone specialist at this point in his career. And I definitely see Todd Gurley getting signed by someone. But if you went to the Rams, that'd be kind of interesting. Yeah, I'd be okay with it. I think he's enough of a professional. I know it didn't end super well with Gurley. He was kind of bitter when he left. But, again, he's a professional, and I've heard him talk about the Rams since, and he understands the business side of football for sure. He's got he's a smart guy, a good head on his shoulders. We'll see. We'll see. To answer the question last time, Prince, I'd be okay with it. I'd get excited about it if he came back to the Ramley. North Dallas 4, he's going, Ben Simmons is the NBA version of Jared Goff. He's also saying Rams linebackers are weak. No, again, North Dallas 40, I push back on you on this. I don't think they're weak. I think they're unproven. Floyd, I think it's great. And let's look at the full here. Rams linebackers. Because, when that's the thing, to say they're weak or bad is different than saying they're unproven. So competing for so I'm a big believer in Kenny Young. So there's Leonard Floyd, Micah Kiser, Micah Kiser I'm not as high on as some people, but I think he's shown flashes that he could develop into a solid player. Troy Reader, I think just a player that needs to develop. He needs to be consistent. Kenny Young, I do believe he came over from that trade with Marcus Peters years ago. People forget about him. I believe he can be a star linebacker for the Rams moving forward. I always mess up this name, but Ogbanani Okoronkwo. I'm so bad at pronouncing that name. Unproven, in my opinion. But he'll probably take on more of the Ebicon role. Terrell Lewis, okay. The injury concerns are there. I'm not sure. Justin Hollins, I have no opinion. Ernest Jones, again, he's got to prove it. He was a draft pick. Trayvon Howard, I'm higher on than most people. Again, these are young players that are trying to make it, trying to prove they belong in the NFL. Chris Garrett, Derek Moncrief. Again, we just haven't seen a lot of them. And so, John Daka, Maximilian Roberts, Christian Roseboom, these are all names that they just don't hold a lot of weight. And I'm not ready to say they're weak. Unproven, absolutely. But I hear what you're saying, and it is a position of concern. But I am a big believer in Kenny Young. North Dallas 40 is also saying Tutu will be the downfall of Snead. Creed was the obvious pick. Okay, yeah, like I remember back to that draft day, and I was shocked when they took a shorter receiver in Tutu. I think it will take a lot for Les Snead to get fired because he actually has done a pretty good job of drafting the past number of years. I think this year, Tutu, we can't make a firm decision on him this year, but I think Van Jefferson has a lot more on the line this year than Tutu does as a second-year receiver. But you know what? I hear you. Creed would have been the pick that Ram fans were thinking it was going to happen, but our expectations were not met. Kind of like the season finale of Lost, or a movie that you get hyped up for, but it doesn't really happen. Mike Anderson is saying, what would be your minimum the Rams need to do to make the Stafford trade worth it? Win a Super Bowl. Yeah. That's why you made the trade, right? You didn't make that trade to make the playoffs. We've made the playoffs. Now, I'm hoping we win the Super Bowl this year in SoFi. Like that's the hope, and I think we have a shot at it. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Not everyone can be a Tom Brady and go to a new team and win it right away. But I think over the next 3-4 years, Rams got to win the Super Bowl at least once to make this trade worth it. Because if you ask yourself, like, okay, trade 3 first-round picks for your next 3 years, and you'll win the Super Bowl one of those 3 years. Do you do that trade? Absolutely. Absolutely you do. We had a problem at the quarterback position when we traded up to get Jared Goff. And give Goff credit where he's due. He stabilized that quarterback position. Like, do you really want to go back to the days where we had a QB carousel like Austin Davis, Case Keenum, Nick Foles, Sam Bradford getting hurt and injured? Like Mark Bulger had some good years in there. Sean Hill was in there. Like, I don't want to go back to that game. No. So I'm thankful for what Goff did. And I'm also thankful for organization who's like, you know what? I know it's going to be a big dead cap hit, but let's absorb it because we believe we can upgrade this position by getting Matt Stafford. And I think that's what they did. And I think Super Bowl, they have to win the Super Bowl. Yeah, that's my opinion. Great question, Mike. GP Shadow, hey, welcome in. Goff has more heart than Ben Simmons. Yeah, agreed. North Dallas 40. Cowboys will be the most improved team in 2020. Well, you have Dak back, and I'd say he's the front runner for comeback player of the year. That'll be interesting to see. Yeah, I don't know. What other team? I could see the Vikings being an improved team. I could see the Jaguars being improved, not most improved. But again, that's only because I believe that Trevor Lawrence is an elite talent. And if their coaching staff is any good, that will be a drastic upgrade in that culture down in Jacksonville. Rams House TV, watch out for Sebastian Joe and Joseph Day this season. Yeah. You know what? SJD is someone who doesn't get enough love. Thank you for pointing him out, Rams House TV. Yeah, I definitely, looking forward to seeing him in the coming season. And he needs to get more love than he does for sure. Well, you know what, guys? We are caught up on all the comments. This has been a blast. I have loved this so much. I do need to get groceries because I have no food except for some stale bread in my cupboards. And but this has been a blast. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Smash that like button. It really helps me out on the old YouTube algorithm. And I hope you're all having an amazing day. And go Rams. Pay out time. Peace and out.